Thank you, Sai, for being here today and sharing your time and your experience. We value you being here and being present for discussing this extremely dynamic and developing space. Since we have a diverse audience here, perhaps a good starting point would be for you to share a little bit about yourself, about Hero Fincorp's vision for the future, and also about the very interesting digital transformation which is underplay at Hero Fincorp. So over to you, Sai.
Sure. I'm audible? You just switch this up. Yeah. Well, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Sai. I take care of the enterprise applications for Hero Fincorp. So Hero Fincorp, as you might be knowing the brand Hero, it is the top 20 household brand in India. So we started off our Hero Honda Finlease in 1991, where we used to finance the two-wheeler segment of Hero Honda vehicles. And then when our parent company Hero MotoCorp formed without the Honda Alliance, so we got a new avatar of Hero Fincorp Limited in 2013. So this year we'll be completing 10 years in India. And there are a lot of interesting stories that I can share with you, how the growth happened, where we started, where we are today. So today we own a AUM of 37,000 crores, so which is a huge thing. And where we started off from a 150 crores to a 37,000 crores in 10 years, that itself is a large leap forward in the way we have envisioned and then way we have grown. Now, our vision, as our chairman says, is to be the ultra-lean tech lending platform that caters to the dream of every Indian. Now, we had our first TV commercial in 2016, which says, "Karo khwabo se ishq," which means every dream of an Indian, irrespective of where they come from, can be fulfilled, and we are there to fulfill their dreams. That's where we started off as a vision. We have grown. We have grown into multiple tiers right now. We have about 4,100 touch points across India. So every Hero Honda showroom, we have a touch point. Now, when we talk about the trend of the financial services or the fintech NBFCs in India, we are seeing a lot of transformation that is happening. One is the industry itself is embracing digital transformation. In fact, what I say is it is not digital transformation anymore. It is a business transformation to fit into the digital era, because all our consumers are digital savvy right now. So unless we transform our business to meet our consumers' need, we will not exist, right? And we are also seeing a lot of trend where people are moving more to retail lending from corporate lending. What it also means is that in corporate lending, there are certain norms. We play by guidelines. There is a pattern. But in retail lending, the end customer is unique. So if I'm giving loans to 10 people, there are 10 different behavioral patterns. To that, to match the vision, the process, the way we tackle the customer, and the way we implement the process in a digital way within our systems is going to be different, right? And then we are also seeing increasing technical infrastructure complexities. I think the speakers already touched upon that. When we talk about digital transformation, there are three facets to it. This is what we have seen in digital lending as well. One is the architectural transformation. So we are moving away from legacy monolithic systems to microservices-based architectures. And then we are moving away from huge data centers to a cloud infrastructure. That's the infrastructure transformation. And the third transformation, because we come from the technology background, is the way we are implementing. We are no more doing the same old waterfall methodology of implementing, right? So we have moved from waterfall to agile, and now we are into the DevOps, CI/CD kind of things. So managing transformation is about managing these three facets of transformation, at the same time meeting the customer expectation. So the complexity gets multifold when it comes to this space. The fourth is about the regulatory reforms that are happening on a day-to-day basis. And whenever a new reform happens or a new regulation comes into picture, how are we adapting to that change and implementing in our systems in a split second? So these are some of the things that we are learning as we go, but at the same time, we are also building architectures that are nimble in nature, where we can implement these changes in a rapid manner. I think that's what helped us grow to this extent.
Thank you very much, Sai, for sharing these nuggets. We all know that Hero Fincorp has today transformed itself into a force to reckon with on the back of this technological transformation. And I think you beautifully articulated the four-step process around the architecture, the infrastructure, the technology, and the overall business transformation. Now, one of the elements we see as the overarching element is the element of technology playing a critical role as far as almost recalibrating what the new Hero Fincorp looks like today. But at the same point in time, you exist in an environment where you have constant pushes and pulls and pressures from the entire environment around you. Whether it is the regulatory environment, whether it is the development of digital goods, which is creating a level playing field, or it is the wider ecosystem of partners and fintechs. How do you think you are transforming or adapting to this particular external change and the role that technology will provide, the edge that technology will provide as you move forward in this space and as it evolves and matures? Your thoughts on this?
I think that's a great point. So when we talk about technology, so for a better understanding, to normalize how this process works, I'll just explain how a lending business works, a simple process. So whenever we onboard a customer, so if someone wants to take a loan, we onboard them. There's a loan onboarding process. And then there is an underwriting process to assess the risk or the credit worthiness of the person who is taking the loan and the risks that the organization needs to have, or the appetite of risk of the organization while giving the loan. And the third step is the disbursal of the loan. And once we do the credit worthiness, we check all these validations and then we disburse the loan. And the next step is about collecting the loan. So these are, at a broad level, these are the four things. So in each of these processes, technology is the differentiator. When we are onboarding anyone to a loan process, so we do a lot of validation. So anyone who would have tried getting a loan, you would know how many documents you need to submit, you know how many questions you need to answer, you know how many identity checks you need to go through. You need to make sure that the person who's taking the loan is the same person who has his photograph on the identity that is given, the KYCs, the bureau checks. We assess the credit worthiness. There are a lot of algorithms that run in the background when we model this to assess the credit worthiness of the person. There are a lot of machine learning models that are built in and run in the background when we model the risk appetite of the business who gives the loan. And then once we disburse the loan, there are also certain models that run on how to assess the ability for the person to repay the loan and then what to do in case there are any hiccups. So in isolation, these four processes might look very simple, but when we knit everything together, there is a customer 360 that gets formed. There is a business 360 that gets formed. There is an invisible customer which we would not have seen at all, but we are processing everything digitally, so there is always a risk allowed. And believe me, most of the digital loans are unsecure in nature because we are giving it based on certain documentation, what the system tells us. So they are by nature, a majority of them falls into the unsecure segment. Now, where the technology plays in. So for us, what Salesforce actually helped us a lot in the onboarding side of things. The entire onboarding platform, we are able to automate it. We are able to put in the checks and balances and validations in place thanks to Salesforce. And when we are connecting the various validations to the bureaus or third-party partners to get these checks done, that's where MuleSoft came into picture, where we had a lot of APIs built in specifically for our organization, where we were able to validate everything in real time. Connected to each other. When the APIs are functioning at scale, and we have a fantastic disaster recovery, backups, everything in place for us to work seamlessly. That's where the technology comes into picture. Apart from this, there is also this customer master that we talk about, because irrespective of where the customer comes in, we give them the omni-channel experience. So where if they are coming through a dealer or through a digital platform or they are talking to some salesperson, they have the same information available and they get the same experience. And the omni-channel experience is only possible by having platforms like a Salesforce or a MuleSoft or any other mobile interface that we are using on Salesforce to give that experience to the customer so that they feel that they are talking to the single face of the organization irrespective of the channel that come through. I think that's where the technology plays.
Thank you, Sai. I could continue speaking to you forever and it would then take a day. I think we love you for all the right reasons, and whatever you have brought up through this conversation, whether it is the power of one Salesforce, the presence of MuleSoft, the customer 360, the breaking of silos and the interconnectedness. And I think you made a profound point when you spoke about technology being the fulcrum which helps you build more intelligence in your risk management capabilities, which in turn provides that cutting edge and differentiation in the market. I think we have time for maybe one last question for you. You have had over 10 lakh plus downloads of your mobile self-service app on Salesforce within, I think, the day it was launched, is what I had read. If you could share some nuggets and thoughts around how has Hero Fincorp gotten creative and re-engineered the customer service experience leveraging this app, if you could help us with that.
Yeah, I think, I'll again start off, customer service app is a mobile app that we have launched. The backend is again connecting to the service cloud of Salesforce through Heroku. What we did is we have gone to every dealer and we have interacted with the customers, their pain areas, why the customer wants to contact the service provider. Predominantly, like any banking application, why would you like to go into a banking website? Probably you want to look at your statement, you want to look at what are the payments available, your balance, etc. So the most common areas where the customer would interact with an organization, all those we have digitized. And because we are using Service Cloud of Salesforce, the information is already available in Service Cloud in real time. All that we are making sure is that the customer has access to the information based on the proper authentication, etc. And what also helped us is the campaign that we have done in launching this, along with the UI UX capabilities of this application. We have given them enough channels to interact with the sales team, the service team, and the digital channels, where they get a response within seconds. And they don't need to really wait for long queues because we also have an IVR, but we want to make sure that digital is the preferred channel for everyone. And what we have seen is also that there have been 1 million downloads immediately after we have launched this platform. And that's the most used platform as of now. And again, as I was mentioning, it is connected through MuleSoft, Heroku, and Service Cloud of Salesforce. And whenever the new upgrade happens, we're also making sure that the features are seamlessly launched to the customer without they updating the entire application in a snap-second time.
Thank you so much, Sai. It's been a pleasure dipping into your experience and understanding of the space. You bring in a great confluence of business and technical understanding, both which is rare. I think we will let you go for now. So thank you so much and pleasure. Appreciate your time.